Welcome dear students. I am Dr. Rajiv Oberoi dealing with this stoichiometric calculation. Now this is the part third of the stoichiometric calculation. In the previous part we have discussed what is meant by stoichiometric calculations. It means the calculations which are based on the balanced chemical equations. So all those calculations which are involving a balanced chemical equation are termed as the stoichiometric calculations. Now this topic, as we have already discussed, is based on the mole concept. So it is the combination of mole concept and the chemical equations. Together it makes this topic called as stoichiometric calculations. Now in the mole concept we have already done that mole which is represented by N is equal to W by M. W is weight of the substance taken and M is either atomic weight if substance is atomic or molecular weight if substance is molecular. Number 2, number of particles. Number of particles is N into Avogadro's number, that is mole into 6.022 10 raised to 23. And the volume at NTP, the volume of NTP is N into 22.4 liter, that is N into 22400 ml. So these are the three formulas which we utilize to calculate the mole concept numericals. Now it is intermingled with the chemical equations. These three is now been intermingled with the chemical equations, and this combined topic together is termed as the stoichiometric calculations. Let us begin. Now we are dealing with those stoichiometric calculations that involve the multi-step calculations. So we are dealing with the multi-step stoichiometric calculations. So just to make it clear, let us take an example. Suppose question goes 20 grams of KClO3 is strongly heated to produce oxygen. Calculate the amount of zinc required to produce hydrogen by reaction with H2SO4 that completely reacts with the oxygen produced. So this is the question. Now let us discuss that how we can solve this problem. So let us discuss the solution for this. So let's start. Now compound is KClO3, which is termed as potassium chlorate. If I discuss the molecular weight, now K is 39, Cl is 35.5 and oxygen is 16 into 3, total making it 122.5. So suppose if I convert the weight of KClO3 given into mole of KClO3. So what would be the value of mole of KClO3? The mole of KClO3, which is represented by N, is equal to W by M. The W of KClO3 given is 20. So 20 divided by 122.5, it gives you mole, which is almost 0.19. The value of mole is 0.19. Now let us write the involved equation first. I told you that these calculations are based on chemical equation, and a proper chemical equation is must for us to solve the problem. So this is involving three reactions. So I am calling these three reactions as three steps. Of course these are three individual reactions, but how they will be associated. Now we know that KClO3, when strongly heated, it decomposed to give KCl plus oxygen. KClO3 on heating decomposed to give KCl3 plus oxygen. So remember, in order to balance it, we write 2 KClO3 gives 2 KCl plus 3O. 2 KClO3 gives 2 KCl plus 3O. This is reaction number 1, the decomposition of KClO3. Now it is said that oxygen that is produced by KClO3 has to be reacted with hydrogen. The oxygen produced by KClO3 is to be reacted with hydrogen. So when the reaction goes, when oxygen is made to react with hydrogen, what happens? 2 molecule of hydrogen react with 1 molecule of oxygen to produce 2 molecule of water. Reaction balance? Yes, it is balanced. 2H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O. Now, the hydrogen needed in step number 2 is to be produced by reaction of sulfuric acid on zinc. By reaction of sulfuric acid on zinc. So zinc when made to react with sulfuric acid, it results in formation of ZnSO4 plus H2. So this is equation number 1 where KClO3 decomposed to give oxygen. This is reaction number 2 where H2 react with O2 to form H2O, and this is reaction number 3 producing the hydrogen through reaction of zinc with H2SO4. Now the reaction has to be properly balanced. Now in order to balance, just look on to, in step number 1 3O is produced. In step number 1, that is reaction number 1, 3O2 is produced, whereas in step number 2 only 1O2 is used. Therefore forcefully we have to multiply this step by 3. We have to multiply this step by 3. O produced 3, O used 1, multiplied by 3. Over here, now if it is multiplied by 3, then this hydrogen becomes 6. Now in this, only 1 hydrogen is produced. In this reaction number 3, only 1 hydrogen. Now if we make this oxygen 3, this hydrogen becomes 6. To make this hydrogen 6, we have to multiply step 3 by 6. So what are you doing? We are multiplying step 2 by 3 and multiplying step 3 by 6. Step 2 into 3, step 3 into 6. Step 2 into 3, step 3 into 6. So it goes in the first step. What happens? 2 KClO3 on heating decompose to give 2 KCl plus 3O2. First step. Now in order to balance oxygen, we have multiplied second step by 3. It becomes 3H2 react with 3O2 to produce 6H2O. 3O produced, 3O used. Now in order to use 3O, there would be 6 hydrogen. So in order to balance hydrogen, we have multiplied equation 3 by 6. So it is 6Zn plus 6H2SO4 giving 6ZnSO4 plus 6H2. 6Zn plus 6H2SO4 gives 6ZnSO4 and 6H2. Now 3O produced, 3O used cancel out. To produce 3O, 6 hydrogen is needed, 6 hydrogen used, 6 hydrogen produced cancel out. In order to produce 6 hydrogen, we need 6 atom of zinc. So if I correlate them, if all these 3 equations are correlated, we can say that 3 KClO3, this 2 KClO3 is equivalent to 3 oxygen. 2 KClO3 is equivalent to 3 oxygen. So I can write 2 KClO3 is equivalent to 3 oxygen. Now this 3 oxygen is equivalent to, this 3 oxygen is equivalent to 6 hydrogen. And this 6 hydrogen is equivalent to 6 zinc. 6 hydrogen is equivalent to 6 zinc. So we can write 2 KClO3 is equivalent to 3O2, which is equivalent to 6H2, which is equivalent to 6Zn. Now in the question we have been given KClO3 and we have been asked for the zinc. The other component are not considered. In the question we have been given KClO3 is given and zinc is been asked. So we have to only correlate this KClO3 with zinc. The other component need not to be considered. So I am just considering the 2 components which are to be considered. One is KClO3 and other is zinc. So looking onto this relation, I can say that 2 KClO3, remember 2 KClO3 is equivalent to 6Zn. 2 KClO3. Now this is the reaction which I meant for. That it is 2 KClO3 2 KClO3 is equivalent to 3 oxygen. 2 KClO3 is equivalent to 3 oxygen. 3 oxygen is equivalent to 6 hydrogen. And 6 hydrogen is equivalent to 6 zinc. That's what I'm saying. What I said earlier, 2 KClO3 is equal to 3, it is equivalent to 3 O2. 3 O2 is equivalent to 6 H2 and 6 H2 is equivalent to 6 Zn. So if I correlate them, so I can say 2 KClO3 is equivalent to 3 O2, 2 KClO3 is equivalent to 3 O2, 3 O2 is equivalent to 6 H2, 6 H2 is equivalent to 6 Zn. So in the question, I said we have been given KClO3 and we have been asked for zinc. We have been given KClO3, we have been asked for zinc. The other component I told you are not considered. Other component means nothing has been asked for oxygen. Nothing has been asked with respect to hydrogen. So only it is with respect to KClO3 and zinc. Only with respect to KClO3. So these are the two components which need to be related according to this equation. We have been given the value of KClO3 and we have been asked for the zinc. So let us consider them. So looking onto this relation, we can say that 2 KClO3 is equivalent to 6 Zn. 2 KClO3 is equivalent to 6 Zn. Now what is molecular weight of KClO3? So I said it is 122.5. Weight of 2 would be 245. So 2 KClO3 is 245 and zinc is 6. So atomic weight of zinc is 65 into 6 is 360. So we have to correlate them. That is, this KClO3 and zinc is related. The weight of KClO3 applicable is 245 and weight of zinc applicable is 390. So using these two weights, this and this weight, we will be calculating calculating further. This equation would be further now calculated. So let us consider it. Now considering those two values, so we can say that since 245 grams of KClO3, 245 grams of KClO3 needs 390 grams of zinc. 245 grams of KClO3 needs 390 grams of zinc. Therefore, 1 gram of KClO3 will need 360 upon 245 grams of zinc, and therefore we have been given 20 grams. So we are direct using the weight. Therefore, 20 grams of KClO3 need 390 upon 245 into 60 grams zinc, that is 31.8 grams of zinc. So what was the question? The question was that 20 grams of KClO3 is strongly heated to produce oxygen. Calculate the amount of zinc required to produce hydrogen by reaction with H2SO4 that completely react with oxygen produced. So 20 grams of KClO3 will need how much amount of zinc? So the solution is, since 245 grams of KClO3 need 360 grams of zinc, therefore 1 gram of KClO3 will need 390 upon 245. Therefore 20 grams of KClO3 will need 390 upon 245 into 20, that is 31.8 grams of zinc. So these are the stoichiometric calculation where multi-step reactions are needed. More than one reaction is needed for the calculation. Very, very important for competitive examination. Very important. Please just master these type of questions. They are very, very important. Now let us consider one more question which is again involving the multi-reactions. That is, the multi-step procedure would be needed. Question goes that 16 grams of MnO2, 16 grams of MnO2 was reacted with excess of HCl and the obtained gas was reacted with Ki. Calculate the amount of iodine released. I repeat, 16 grams of MnO2 was reacted with excess of HCl and the obtained gas was reacted with Ki. Calculate the amount of iodine released. Let us discuss the solution for this. Now let us consider the solution. The question goes that MnO2 is made to react with HCl. How much MnO2 given? 16 grams. How much HCl given? Excess amount. So when MnO2 is made to react with HCl, remember it react to form MnCl2 plus H2O plus Cl2. So if I balance this reaction, it would be MnO2 plus 4HCl, of which 2Cl combined with Mn to form MnCl2. Out of 4Cl, 2 combined with Mn to form MnCl2, 4 hydrogen and 2 oxygen. 4 hydrogen and 2 oxygen forms 2 molecules of water. We are left over with 2 chlorine, which is given out in form of chlorine gas. So mean to say that MnO2 when made to react with HCl, it forms manganese chloride and chlorine gas is released. Now what is the standard molar ratio? The standard molar ratio is that 1 mole of MnO2 react with 4 mole of HCl to give 1 mole of MnCl2 and 2 mole of water and 1 mole chlorine. So ratio is 1:4:1:2:1. Now if I convert the molar ratio into weight ratio, so what we are doing, we are just writing the weight of only those components which are relevant. So relevant component is MnO2 is given, made to react with HCl and the gas is produced. So the MnO2 is given in the question, reacted with HCl and the gas produced is chlorine. So the relevant portion is MnO2 is one relevant component and chlorine is another relevant component. So I'm just considering the 2 component only, MnO2 1 and Cl2. So let us convert this molar ratio into weight ratio. So MnO2, the weight of MnO2, and what I'm doing, converting it into weight ratio. So MnO2, the molecular weight of MnO2 is 87. The molecular weight of MnO2 is 87 and chlorine is 35.5 into 2, that is 71. So we can say that 87 grams of MnO2 produces 70 grams of chlorine. This is first reaction. Now in the question it is said that the gas produced, which is chlorine, it was not told that which gas. The gas produced was passed into potassium iodide, Ki. So we have taken Ki, make it to react with the gas produced, which is chlorine. So when Ki made to react with chlorine, 2 molecule of Ki react with 1 molecule of chlorine. 2 molecule of Ki react with 1 molecule of chlorine to produce 2 molecule of KCl and 1 molecule of iodine. So as per the question, the gas produced by reacting MnO2 with HCl is passed into Ki. The gas produced is chlorine and it is passed into Ki, and as the result they are asking find out the iodine that is produced. So over here the chlorine is the relevant gas, the chlorine which is passed into Ki, and we are required to calculate the iodine produced. So if I relate them, so in this case it is 2:1:2:1. 2:1:2:1. So chlorine is 1 mole of chlorine, that is 71 in grams, 71 grams, and iodine is also 1. So iodine is 127 into 2, 254. So based on this we can say that in this equation how much chlorine produced? 87 will produce 71. This 71 will produce 254. 87 grams of MnO2 will produce 71 gram of chlorine, and 71 gram of chlorine will produce 254 gram of iodine. Let us relate them. So let us correlate. So based on the 2 equations which we have written, we can say that MnO2, 1 MnO2 is equivalent to 1 chlorine. 1 MnO2 on basis of equation number 1, you can check. On the equation number 1 we say that 1 MnO2 is equivalent to 1 chlorine, and in equation number 2 1 chlorine is equal to 1 iodine. 1 MnO2 is equivalent to 1 chlorine. You can check equation number 1, check it. And 1 chlorine is equal to 1 iodine. So they are related. MnO2 is equivalent to 1 MnO2 is equivalent to 1 chlorine is equivalent to 1 iodine. MnO2 is 87, chlorine is 71, iodine is 254. In our case, we have been given MnO2 and we have been asked for iodine. We have been given MnO2 and we have been asked for iodine, nothing else. There was no consideration for HCl, there is no consideration for chlorine. So just relate the two components which are associated. So in the question MnO2, so let us see the question again. Now what this question is saying? 16 grams of MnO2 was reacted with excess of HCl. 16 grams of MnO2 is reacted with excess of HCl, and the obtained gas, which gas? Chlorine, not told but we have calculated. And the obtained gas was reacted with Ki. How much? Not told. Calculate the amount of iodine released. Means MnO2 is one component which need to be considered and iodine is another component need to be considered. Only two components, MnO2 is one component, iodine is another. The rest of the component are not to be considered in the calculation. So let us continue with the calculation. So based on the two equation, we can say 1 MnO2 is equal to 1 chlorine is equal to 1 iodine, that is 87 grams of MnO2 is equivalent to 71 grams of Cl2 and 254 grams of iodine. Now we have to consider only MnO2 and iodine, none other component is to be considered, only MnO2 and iodine. So we can say that since 87 MnO2, since 87 grams of MnO2 produce 254 grams of iodine, 87 grams of MnO2 produce 254 grams of iodine. Therefore 1 gram of MnO2 will produce 254 upon 87 grams of iodine. In the question we have been given 16, therefore 16 grams of MnO2 will produce, it will produce 254 upon 87 into 16, the value comes to be 46.7 grams of iodine. So what we have done, we have related MnO2, which is the given component, with the iodine which has been asked component. If I relate, it is 87 of MnO2 is equal to 254, that is 87 grams of MnO2 is producing 254 gram of iodine. We say since 87 gram MnO2 produce 254 gram of iodine, therefore 1 gram MnO2 will produce 254 upon 87 grams of iodine. Therefore 16 gram as given in the question will produce how much? 254 upon 87 into 16. Answer comes to be 46.7. So let us again consider the question and relate it with the answer. So what is demand of the question? Question says 16 grams of MnO2 was reacted with excess of HCl and the obtained gas was reacted with Ki. Calculate the amount of iodine released. We have calculated the 16 grams of MnO2 will need how much? It will produce how much iodine? 16 grams of MnO2 will produce how much iodine? So as per our calculation, we have found it is 46.7 grams. 16 grams of MnO2 has produced how much iodine? So 16 grams of MnO2 have produced 46.7 grams of iodine. 46.7 grams of iodine is produced. This is the answer, 46.7 grams. 46.7 grams is the answer for this. So I hope that this calculation, stoichiometric calculation is clear. So these type of multi-step reactions are very important for competitive examination, somewhat to the school examination also, but for the competitive examination they are very important when two or more equations are considered together for the calculation and to solve for the solving the numerical problem. So just master it, these type of numerical which involve more than one kind of reaction. Thank you.